Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of November 8th. And we are going to do like a little bit of a modified Celtic cross today. It's just a regular Celtic cross, but the order of the cards that I lay out is different, and the order that I read them in is different as well compared to a regular Celtic cross. Doesn't really matter, but just letting you know here, Cancer. So let's see what is going on for you at this time. Here in your current foundation, you have the Five of Cups. So some of you could be feeling a little bit off this at this time coming into the week. Two fives right off the bat here. Even just kind of like cheating a little bit here, Cancer. I don't really read diagonals in a Celtic cross, but it is interesting. Five of Cups, Five of Swords to the Eight of Cups right here. This could represent walking away energy, and that could be why you're feeling like this. Five of Cups, sadness. It's kind of weird. I also do kind of look at the Five of Cups and the Eight of Cups as similar cards. I don't look at them as exactly the same, but the Eight of Cups is walking away energy, and Eight of Cups warns against getting sucked down into like an emotional whirlpool. It can be a card on the negative side of things where your emotions are getting the best of you. Five of Cups can be very similar because he's focusing just on those three cups that have spilt over in front of him, and he's not looking at what he has behind him. And again, he's also not realizing that there is a bridge that leads to a castle in the background here, Cancer. The castle could be could represent safety, security, comfort, protection, pretty much any of those things. If he were just to turn around, he would see that, right? So, to me, I feel some of you could be coming in this week with either regrets, or you could be just a little bit of stinking thinking, right? Not a big deal, just something to think about here, Cancer. Next, in the area of your current energies, you have the Two of Swords. This could be why you're feeling this way. The Two of Swords is about making a decision or needing to make a decision. I always say that she just needs to kind of take her blindfold off and look behind her. There are new lands. There's something new behind her, potentially something that she has never experienced before. And again, all she has to do is turn around and she will see those new lands. She will also see those two rocks that are in the water, and she will see that all she has to do is get into the water and go to the other side, and she'll be experiencing a new way of life, or she'll be experiencing something new in her life in general. It's like she's crossing those swords over her heart. She's trying to protect her heart from something, but it's what is she trying to protect herself from? Really, the answer is nothing, because if she took her blindfold off, she would see that she really has no reason to to fear those rocks, because again, she can see them there in the water. Next, in the area of your hopes and fears, you are hoping to get to the other side. I mean, you can't make this stuff up here, Cancer. I mean, this whole entire first row here is, again, this whole row going up is the Five of Cups, the Two of Swords to the Six of Swords. It's like you are literally hoping to just get to the other side, right? You're hoping to improve, or you're hoping to move past something here. So some of you could be hoping to just move past a difficult, emotional transition at this time. I do get that feeling for some of you, especially with the Eight of Cups, again, showing up over here, which I'll show you again in a minute. So that makes sense. For some of you, I feel like this is just trying to just break out of that, I don't know what to really call it, Cancer, that mundane, mediocre energy. I feel like sometimes maybe we make a decision in life like that. We just don't want to settle, right? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. I think that we should be, trying to improve things. I think we should be, trying to do the best that we possibly can. And I kind of feel like that's where you're at. I feel like you're at this point where you're just saying to yourself that you just are sick of the way things have been. And, that seems to be your outcome as well. It's you're still not quite happy where things are going in your life. And this is not a bad thing. Again, I feel like this is a good thing, because just the vibe I'm getting off your reading is that sometimes, when we feel that way, that's the thing that motivates us to make things better, right? You even have the Two of Cups here. This is your past position, but it's also your present position. This is past and present energy here. And you have the Two of Cups. For some of you, you could be moving past a relationship, obviously. Even in the near future, you have the Five of Swords. Wouldn't really surprise me if some of you were thinking about walking away from a relationship here. Eight of Cups, Five of Swords, right? All this. And I would say that there's probably just too many differences between you and your person if you are thinking about walking away from a person. I kind of have I have that question popping into my head, like, do I walk away from this person? And for some of you, I would say yes. I mean, if you are thinking it, I think it's always better to just do it and get it over and done with. To me, it's like, I think we should trust ourselves. And it's like, I understand like wanting to be in a relationship and all that other stuff. But it's like, if we are thinking, should I leave this person? That's probably our intuition saying it is time to leave this person, right? I think some of us, we do a bad job at like, what do they say? Like hire slow, fire fast, right? Same thing in relationships. It's like, I think sometimes some of us are just bad at breaking up. Most people are. And again, this is not a criticism, Cancer. I think we just don't want to hurt people's feelings and all that other stuff, right? But also, maybe we feel like we're making a mistake leaving a person, but I'd say, like, I feel like this is more intuitive for you, so I trust your intuition. I feel like there is a soulmate coming in for you. Two of Cups, again, is my card of a stepping stone soulmate. So if you're leaving a person or have recently ended a relationship, to me, this is saying there is clearly future love coming in for you. In the area of the near future, you have the Five of Swords here. So I do feel for some of you that you could be... I totally skipped your crossing energy. Sorry, Cancer. Your crossing energy is the Nine of Cups here. So let's go back. The Nine of Cups is a wish or wish fulfillment. But again, it's funny because coming up as a crossing energy, it can just say that you are sick of where you have been, right? You have the Two of Swords here. To me, this reading screams just things being too much the same. Things always, too much contentment. The way that I think of the Nine of Cups in a reading like this is it's like, Thanksgiving dinner. It is like, or if you don't eat Thanksgiving, after you have a big feast, right? If you go to a buffet, it's like you're full, you feel good, but you're also tired, right? And that's the Nine of Cups. It's just a card of contentment. It's like a card that says, that you are just content, which isn't a bad thing, but it's also not necessarily a good thing. It's like, if we're just content, if we are just feeling content, it's like, we could be thinking like, oh, is there more? Is there more to life? We could be, looking off at in the distance and saying, I want more in life. I don't want to just be content. Nobody really actually ever says that they just want to be content, right? Again, in the near future, you have the Five of Swords here. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be walking away from a situation. For most of you, I feel like this is a love situation that you're walking away from in this reading. And, I feel like you're just walking away. Kind of feels like a little bit of a risk to me as well. Every once in a while, the Five of Swords is a clue card to me that you could be taking a risk. And the risk for you here, Cancer, could be walking away from a relationship, like I said. But I feel like, it's kind of funny because I think if you do walk away from a current relationship that you're in right now, for those of you that are walking away, or if you have gotten out of a relationship, maybe you're just cutting it off. What I would say here with that Five of Swords is, to me, it's like saying that in the future, I feel like you're going to look back and say, like, why didn't I just take this risk sooner? Like, why didn't I just move on a lot sooner? Even in the area of how things will evolve in this situation, you have the King of Cups. Feeling much better. He is perfectly emotionally stable. That's the whole point of the King of Cups. He has great emotions. He's sitting in the middle of the ocean, but he's also sitting on something that looks like it's meant to look like a granite slab. It's meant to look like something that is immovable. It's like he has great depth. He has great emotions. He can look very deeply into whatever situation he's involved in his life, but he kind of has control over his emotions. And that's kind of like where I feel like you're at here, Cancer. Next, in the area of how things will turn out in the future, you have the Lovers card. So definitely this, to me, is... And this is a turn of events, in this reading. Again, this is a new spread that I'm working on. But this is how a turn of events will happen in this situation. You have the Lovers. I feel like the turn of events for you in the future is that there will be a new love. We kind of see that here in this whole entire kind of middle row here. Two of Cups, Two of Swords, Five of Swords to the Lovers here, and you're not going to be able to see that. The Lovers, the Lovers is really saying to me that, to me, I would call this like a stepping stone soulmate reading. I would say that some of you are either walking away from a stepping stone soulmate, or you already have done so, and that there is like divinely guided connection coming in for you with that lovers. If you are not looking for love, I would say that this has something to do with your values. Makes perfect sense to me here. I think it's impossible for water signs to not be focused on their values, and you definitely are a water sign, so it makes perfect sense to me. With Uranus and Taurus, I think that for water signs, including you, Cancer, there is a major focus on your values. The funny thing is the lovers can just represent your values. It can represent things that you value. It can represent things that you see value in. These things could be experiences, could be things that you own, like material goods. It could also be spirituality. It could be friendships. It could be anything. And I feel for a lot of you that even if you are looking for love, but I would just say all of you, Cancer, there is like something going on here with your values, and I feel like your values are changing. The things that you value are changing as well. And your next card here represents your future environment, and you have the Eight of Cups. So walking away from things that no longer serve you. I did these readings. I keep getting the word like environment, or there seems to be this like weird focus in the readings lately about the things that are around you, your environment. But your environment is also your body. It is also like your inner thoughts and feelings and things like that as well. And so I wanted to do these readings to have just this one position here, your future environment, because again, I feel like it's like an important thing that people are going to be dealing with. And I feel like you're just cutting things out with the Eight of Cups. I feel like you're willing to take the risk. Five of Swords. Again, if we take this diagonal up, we go Five of Cups, Five of Swords to the Eight of Cups right here. And what I would say is that this to me says that you are like more willing to take risks, to walk into darkness. He is walking into darkness here on the Eight of Cups. This is actually the only tarot card that shows a eclipse on it as well. So he's like eclipsing things out of his life. And I feel like that's what you're doing here. You're willing to make changes. You're willing to take the risk. He's walking towards the Nine of Cups. He's walking towards more fulfillment. So even though you have your crossing energy here is the Nine of Cups, it's almost like this reading is saying to me, for you, Cancer, I should say, it's like saying that you are more willing to take risks to have like new fulfillment or more fulfillment. Your outcome is the Four of Cups here. Kind of interesting. Like I said, Four of Cups is like things not exactly turning out how you want them to. It's a card of apathy, card of contemplation. He's manifesting those cups in front of him, but he also has his arms crossed as well here, Cancer. It kind of like says that maybe things aren't, exactly how he wants them to be. I would say, I feel like you just, there really is no good answer here, Cancer. I literally just did a podcast the other day on the Awakenings podcast with Michelle. And there's a link in the community tab if you want to go listen to that. We literally spent the entire time talking about this. And it's funny, she contacted me, wanted me to talk about it. And it's like, this is something I've been talking about for a long time. How, like, it's hard for me to even describe. I talked about this with the Leo King as well, where it's almost like people are like waiting for permission, or people are like waiting to get into a movie. I think the Leo King has the best description of what this is as well. He says it's almost like everybody's like waiting to go watch a movie, and they're all like waiting in the lobby, but nobody's like entering into the movie theater. Nobody's actually entering in to go watch the movie. Can I get that feeling for you here with that Four of Cups? It's almost like you're like waiting for certain changes in your life. And it's like things are happening, but just like not exactly what how you thought things were going to be. I see this a lot, especially like as we get to the end of like, I know this is like very much in the future, but as we get into 2023, at the end of 2022, like in October, Mars goes retrograde in next October is what I mean. Obviously we're in November, but Mars will go retrograde, and it goes retrograde into January. Kind of an interesting position that it goes retrograde in as well, Cancer. I think that one of the best ways to explain the Mars retrograde and some of the things that will be happening next year is that it's like more of this energy where it's like we could be manifesting things that we think we want, and then we're like, I don't really want this. Is that a bad thing? I would say no, because I think 2023 is gearing us up for 2024 and 2025, which are going to be big years, especially, and then 2026 even bigger. But, it's like it's gearing us up for these changes that we could be making in our lives. So I'd say it's almost like it's saying don't allow the disappointments to disappoint you. It's like if you manifest something, like maybe you think that like some person that you're in love with is the love of your life, and then maybe you find out that they're like a weirdo or something. It's like don't allow that to disappoint you. Just allow it to make you say like, hey, that person, it just happens to be a weirdo. There are plenty of other people that aren't as weird, right? And with the Five of Cups here, you have the Two of Pentacles. Putting in the work. I think that forward movement is going to be very important for you here with that Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is, is a card of working hard and playing hard. I always warn against restless energy with the Two of Pentacles. I think the important thing to remember with the Two of Pentacles is like if we are feeling restless, it is a card of needing to get busy. It is a card of needing to take action, but it kind of like says take thoughtful action. Like let's say you're wanting to get your business going, and you're just sometimes I think when we get in that restless space, we're just like, oh, I'll just do anything. I'll just I just need something to work on, right? I feel like the Two of Pentacles is saying what I would do is like let's say you have a business or you're trying to grow your in your career. I would like look at like one thing that definitely is a good idea that other people have done that works, and that's what I would focus on, right? I would like don't just take action for the sake of action, but it's kind of like more of decisive action, like really thinking about something before you do it. I hope that makes sense. With the Two of Swords and the Nine of Cups, you have the High Priestess here. If you're looking for love, could be a Pisces coming in for you. I feel like it could also be a Gemini as well. If I'm being honest with you, it could be like a Gemini with a lot of Pisces in their chart. It could be a Pisces with Gemini on their chart, something like that. But that combination is popping into my head. The High Priestess, I feel, is saying trust your intuition. With the Six of Swords, like I was saying, with this your whole middle row here, it's like you're just going from the Two of Swords to the Six of Swords. You're just hoping to get to the other side here with the Two of Swords. You're hoping to get to the new lands that are behind her. With the Five of Swords, you have the Queen of Cups here. In a lot of ways, I feel like you're protecting your heart. Queen of Cups is your energy, so you could be leaving a situation to protect yourself here. I feel like you need to trust your intuition. You have divine counterparts here as well. The Queen and King of Cups. Doesn't matter what gender you are attracted to, but Queen here, King here, I feel like for some of you, it could be you needing to take some sort of risk to find your King or Queen of Cups or whatever gender you're attracted to. Doesn't matter. King of Cups is about, the Chariot is about kind of like your energy, Cancer. But, these two Sphinxes, they're facing in opposite directions. It kind of represents the fact that he will always reach his goal. He will always get the things that he wants. But it's like the direction, how he gets there is kind of like up to the universe. It's like maybe not up to you. So I would be open, again, like I was saying with that Four of Cups, I would be open to the fact that things might not work out exactly how you think they're going to work out, but that is exactly what's supposed to happen. I hope that makes sense. With the Lovers here, you have the Sun card. Look at that. That's amazing. A lot of happiness coming in for you. This last row is looking amazing. I mean, the Chariot, Sun, I feel like there could be a lot of good things coming in for you, a lot of happiness. Definitely freedom as well. I think there's going to be just a lot more happiness in your like friendships, in the the people that are around you. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Queen of Pentacles here. Again, this is your future environment, so love it. Really good card to have because the Queen of Pentacles, she isn't worried about anything. Like, there's this little rabbit right here on the Queen of Pentacles, right above my finger. And rabbits can represent fertility, abundance, things like that, but they can also represent anxious energy or anxiety or fears or things that kind of get in the way. But I feel like those things are kind of like, I feel like those things are going away. I feel like you're more focused on things that matter. Like she is focused on the practical. She is focused on the pentacle that she is holding in her hands. That doesn't necessarily mean you're only focused on money. Again, she is focused on the practical. She is focused on, things that practically make sense in her life. That could be relationships. That could be business. That could be money. That could be spirituality. It could be anything that is practical. And she's focused on the resources that she gets from those things. It's like, so she's going to be in a relationship with a person. She's like, does this make sense from a practical standpoint? Is there good equal give and take here? Is there good communication? Same thing in work as well. It's like if she has a job, she probably says to herself, like, am I getting paid my worth? Does my boss pay me money? Does my boss, are they paying me a fair wage and things like that? She's not like so focused on fairness, but she is focused on equal give and take. She is focused on her resources. One of those resources includes time. Like, is she wasting her time? If she has a job where she's not getting paid her worth, she's going to quit and she's going to find a better one. So I feel like you're very practical at this time. I like that energy for you. With the Four of Cups, you have the Hierophant here. Very interesting. The Hierophant has 3 levels to his crown. It cracks me up when the Four of Cups and the Hierophant show up together like this. Here's what you have to realize about the Hierophant. 3 levels, right? They represent 3 levels of initiation. It's like the first level, you're an initiate. You are being initiated into something. The second level is apprenticeship. It's like you are learning from something. Could be a person, could be a mentor, could be a book, could be anything. And the last level is mastery. And why does this make sense? With the Four of Cups, if you have to do something like 3 times and you get the Four of Cups, it's like you could be saying to yourself, like, why am I having to do things over again? But what you don't realize is that you're like at the middle level with the Four of Cups. You could be in that apprenticeship, but the apprenticeship could be from the universe. It's like the universe could be guiding you along on some sort of journey, and you're like, why do I keep getting disappointed at this middle level? It's like, well, you're about to hit the next level. You're about to take some sort of risk here that gets you to that level of mastery where it's like you finally graduate, where you finally learn the secrets of the universe with the Hierophant, right? So pretty powerful stuff. I like this. Some of you could be getting married with the Hierophant. You could be meeting a person here. But like I was saying with the lovers as well, the lovers and the Hierophant both have to do with your values. The Hierophant is more traditional values. It's more maybe also kind of like like morals that you've learned from your family or something like that. But it does have to do with your values. So pretty interesting. I like this reading for you here, Cancer. A lot of good stuff. I feel like you're walking towards good things. Might be a little boring because it's like you're at that second level. Like, I think that's where this reading is going. But I like it. So thank you for being here, Cancer. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.